Hello there and welcome to the Car Wash 2.0, episode 7. I can't believe we're 7 episodes in already. But if you haven't seen it already, where have you been? Which rock have you been living under? Please go and check out the previous 6 episodes. Speaking of 6 episodes, our 6th episode got over 2.5 million views. If you combine everything, that is insane.
Yeah.
Can you convert the views to rents? Like 2.5 million rents?
We will soon from your mouth to God's ears.
Amen. Yeah.
My name is Delmain Favor. I'm your host, and I'm not alone. I am in esteemed company as per usual. Start on my right with the birthday boy, Linda Figo Onassis Mtambo.
Thank you.
Happy belated birthday, my brother. 37 years of awesome.
Yeah, bro.
I saw on your social media,
Time
people were
flies,
giving
man.
you your flowers.
Yeah.
People were giving you love.
Yeah.
Much deserved.
I received so much love, and thank you for the messages that I got. I was busy yesterday. Kept reposting. And the kids want to play. My wifey wants to take me out.
You have a
But I
new
said, no, man,
hair
let's save it for the weekend.
And you had to dye the hair.
And I went to dye the hair. And you remember, bro, I've just won a trophy. You can ask him.
Against him.
Yeah.
Against him. I was there. No, but we hope you enjoyed your birthday, Figo.
you.
Then on my left, we have the comeback kid, Brighton Mhlongo. He wasn't here in episode 6, but we had Sepang Malwane hold it down.
Yeah.
How incredible was Sepang? He did a good job. But it's good to have you back in one piece. There's no arm sling. There's no nothing. We have the full Brighton. Nothing is left behind. Good to have you back, Brighton.
No, man, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Obviously, it's great to be back with the gents, and I can see some habits. Yo, grapes are still flying, so it's fine. It's fine. No, man, I'm glad to be back, gents.
Then on my far left, the person I beat in paddle almost every week, Donna Teko Tsolofelo Mudiso.
He's losing indoor soccer, it's pedal. Oh boy, what's happening?
Yeah?
What's happening?
But indoor, so why don't you ask the questions right? It's fine.
No. Let's speak about that. Figo beat you in the clicks.
No, but you won top goal scorer of the tournament.
Because this one is competitive. Let's between the two.
But he was
When Figo wins, it's a defense.
Guys, we never talk about what. Hey guys, we always talk about the winners. Figo, you won.
Thank
He
you.
lost. Finish. Don't try and massage his ego here and talk about he won top goal scorer. How long has he been doing it? For years, his career has been scoring beautiful goals and combating people on the celebrate.
And then pulling his pants up.
Bottleneck people, let's do the show. Yes.
There's so much for us to get through. We wanna speak about Bafana Bafana. We wanna speak about Orlando Pirates. There's Mbule. There's so much that we have a mystery guest that is brought to you by our brand new partner. So there's so much that we wanna get through, and I wanna kick it off with Bafana Bafana, gentlemen, because obviously the World Cup. By the time this comes out, the World Cup would probably start, and we would have played the opening game. By the way, I watched the opening game, the Mexico game. I was thinking about it. 16 years ago, I didn't fully grasp the concept of it, right? And it was just the euphoria. You were watching it as a fan. I wasn't at the stadium. I remember celebrating, but I didn't actually analyze the game. And then there was so much in it. You had a brilliant game. I told you last time. You had a very, very good game. But I think we expected everything Donna was doing to turn to gold. But you had some good shots, some good passes. There was even dribbling. You dribbled someone on the line. I watched the game and
I
I
watched it so many times.
You watched it so many times.
It's critical. Remember, like when you're saying that, right? For me, it comes from you're right when you're saying we're watching it from a fan perspective and what we expect.
There was excitement.
But when you hear Donna every time, his conversation when it goes back to 2010, it's more like a sad one because it's always like he didn't, obviously with your expectations, right? You wanted to be, because obviously you're on top form and all of that. I got to watch it yesterday, by the way. And then first 5 minutes, this guy, he gets in as a 10, combination passes with Shaba, he turns, they create the first free kick for Bafana, and I'm thinking, actually, it was nice, so I don't know. Maybe, obviously,
No, I would say hindsight. Hindsight it is. But to be fair as well, is as a player that was, expected to do wonders, I went into the tournament maybe with the fact that I wanted to do maybe much more than I've ever done, And also I was playing for the contract, and which something that people didn't understand. At the time, going to the World Cup, I was still fighting with the club, wanting to leave.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go to the World Cup trying to prove a point. I wanted to have a contract before the World Cup so I can play freely. You know, and that didn't happen. So you overthink things, and I don't think I really enjoyed that tournament as much as I did the 2009 Confed. Confed, I really, really enjoyed it. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. That's why when you speak of the World Cup, I always, speak of players need to be enjoying it.
Yeah.
Need to understand that this thing might not even come again. You're not entitled to it.
Yeah.
Because at the time I wish there was nothing in my mind but just playing football.
Yeah.
And it was difficult because in football, there's no sports psychologists that don't say you on the side. I'm like, hey, you know what I mean? So when you go, because also the stress was when you go everywhere, there was a billboard of me. There was, listen to the radio, there's always me. So the pressure on itself.
Even now. But I'm gonna pause you there. So we are of course gonna speak Bafana Bafana opening game the same way. But before we do, I just want to speak about where things start, Brighton, and this is something that is right up your alley. So 2026 will then mark the 24th anniversary of the Engine Knockout Challenge. And I'll tell you why I say this. It's one of South Africa's most respected youth football platforms, the development platforms. Over the year, they've played a significant role in developing some of our country's best talents.
Yeah.
And then if you look at it, the proof, as they say, Brighton, is in the pudding.
It is.
Right? And in the current Bafana Bafana squad that is in Pachuca at this moment, visas and all, they are there with their visas. they made it there. Finally. From that squad.
Stop it.
Serious stuff. From that squad, out of the 26, if you look at players who performed in the Engine Knockout Challenge, Brighton, Osman Apollos, Rilebuhile Mufukeng, Mbegezeli Mbogazi, Tebza Mokoena, Ronwen Williams, and Lyle Foster, all of them played in that tournament, right?
Yeah.
The tournament continues to grow year on year. And then another thing is, it's not only about football now. They've added key initiatives. You look at yourself, Brighton. You are an ambassador, but you also plow back. You challenge these kids. You enrich them. You educate them. There's Coach Tabo Sinong. I was there in Eastern Cape with you. I saw when you're shedding tears. So I know exactly what I'm speaking about. There's financial literacy workshops, and there's also someone called the Minister of Menstruation, Candice Chirwa. So not only is Engine developing future Bafana Bafana stars, current Bafana stars, but they're doing so much as a tournament. I just want to ask you guys how, Brighton, maybe with you, we start, how important is a platform like the Engine Knockout Challenge in what we're seeing today in just a few days' time? All of these players that I mentioned, there's a big possibility that they feature for Bafana.
Very key, man. It's very, very, very key. And I think when we're talking Bafana, it's also important for us to also mention Banyana as well, because from the Mamelodi Sundowns team, ladies team that won the CAF, and the Banyana team that won the WAFCON as well, a lot of players played in the engine, so that alone for me, it's always good to see tournaments that have, where there's inclusivity every time, whether it's boys, girls, and but with regards to football-wise, I think I wouldn't be doing any justice if I don't make an example with the two gentlemen here.
Yeah.
Imagine if we would have found a Donna at the age of 15, 16, Linda playing in that tournament and having, proper competitive elements and proper guidance with all the workshops that you mentioned as well. I kid you not, by the time you hit, I'll make an example with Emil Vetboy. The first time I saw him, I think he was 14 or 15 playing the tournament, and then he was player of the tournament. When I got to Cape Town, I was like, who's this kid who's dominating all these 18-year-olds? He was just so expressive. And I'm right there on the spot. That's when I was like, this is going to be the player of the tournament. But not only that, I think he's going to be one of the brightest,
Young talents
players
in
that
the
are going to
country.
come out of the country. And a couple of years after that, we've seen the strides that he has made. Yes, the club, obviously, with the relegation, it didn't do any justice. But you look at overall within the tournament, year in, year out, there's always a player that moves from the tournament, and goes to the first team,
To the first team,
within
yeah.
their respective clubs, and they do well. And if not that, they go overseas. Like you look at Talon Smith from Engine, DDC, went straight
QPR,
to QPR. Sometimes you don't even have to play in the PSL. So I think it brings a good competitive element. It brings also, obviously, with the added flavor now when you talk about the workshops, the financial literacies, because we sit down every time we talk about those things, right? How important it is to always educate the young players about things that go on in our lives and all of that. So over and above, man, I've been with them. I played the tournament myself with Aboronza and all of that. But I think the best year for me came as an ambassador. It's been 4 years now
Since
as
you've
the
been with
Engine
them, yeah.
ambassador, and I've seen a lot of growth, in me, and in my life as well, and what we can always contribute. Because sometimes we feel like we've walked that path, and mainly because of where you currently are due to circumstances, you feel like you're not that worthy at times, or sometimes you feel like, what am I going to offer to these people? But there's always something that you can give to the world. And now when I look back to that 4 years to where I am today, with Engine, I think that alone has played a huge role in my life, and also from, as well as the players. So it's very huge, man, to have those tournaments. And I still believe that once we get to a point where we emphasize on that, it would be very key, because we'll start unearthing your Lindas, your donors at a very young age, which is for the betterment of the country.
Yeah. I think maybe just to add on that, Brighton said that imagine if we had a Figo and a Donna at that age, competing at that level with that type of clubs. You guys had such good careers. You still have yours. Imagine what more it could have been had you been exposed to that. Just Figo, if maybe you can...
But though it becomes difficult, speaking after an ambassador, somebody that knows the competition fully. I think he's said a mouthful. But what I'd love to add on is the importance of the foundation phase and the development phase.
Sure.
It's just that maybe as a people, we are just quick to forget. We'll go on to speak about Linden, we speak Skukuni, we'll speak Pirates, but we forget that amateur team. I think that's where the groundwork comes from. And for Engine to be able to plow back, look now, 24 years, and maybe now that's when they're seeing the fruits of their labor with the Mukwena, with all the players that are in the national team. People will start saying, oh, wow, hey, there's something beautiful that Engine is doing. But it's been quite a journey for them, right? So with me is, can we prioritize the foundation phase? I think when it comes to the national team is, can we go back, to giving back to schools, school football? The work that some of us do, through the Linda Mtambo Foundation, where under 15, somebody will ask themselves, but why would Linda do an under 15 tournament? Because I remember back in the days, there was an Ackermans tournament in Soweto. Every young boy wanted to play that tournament, but that was the only tournament that was available, right? But now, some sponsors pull out because of their own reasons. But can we have these people come back, to plow, so that when these guys go on to be great, then they can, raise their hands and say, I've contributed to that person's career.
Which is what Engine is doing essentially now. 24 years for one company to continuously sponsor. And this is not only the Joburg one. There's in Cape Town, all regions, and then still champ of champs. Donna, what does it say about how big the tournament is, and just Engine's continued sponsorship of development football in the country?
First of all, say Engine, I need petrol.
You need petrol.
Brother, I didn't even think of Engine as
Brother,
a petrol company.
The street of Hamas is closed.
I need juice.
Which is why he's hustling.
I need juice, man. Look, man. We like even your Keegan. I think I played with him at Sundowns. He played in a tournament as well. There's a lot of players that really never made to the national team, but a lot of players that played in the PSL having to play in the tournament. So it has been, giving South African footballers an opportunity to be scouted.
Yeah.
South Africa, we still believe in scouts, right? And that tournament, it really, really gives those boys a little bit of a platform. But also we have something else on top of that. Before it was just it was just engine. Now you've got a DDC, so you can still scout there and put in the DDC, which is very organized football. We always spoke about the importance of playing organized football at a young age. You know, we were unfortunate, but fortunate enough, because there's things that we have learned playing in the hood for such a long time that really helped us, you know, when we became players of the PSL. Things that you can't learn at the development with that coach there with a stopwatch. You've been taught by prayers that you know you guys don't have a beep. You don't have equipment, so you need to know who you're passing. And the sun is setting you, so you need to know who is who. So those are type of thing that helps whenever you come to the PSL. But still, man, the importance of development. We've been crying and complaining about development in South Africa, and we need to give kudos to you guys that are really, really putting in the work. But I think the last 10 years, we've seen players, and also not just players, we've seen teams really for you know, really giving opportunities to youngsters. You know, in the past we used to go around shopping and just use those in conversation. Like, I bought a player from where. But with no quality. Now we proud of having to, you know, to have our own grown players, you know, the players that we have at least a history for. So you can, if we have to now ask anybody like how really was at 11-year-old, there's a picture that can tell you the story. There's a picture of Mbugaz that can tell you a story. In the past, we never had those. And then now, because these are guys that really, really got exposed at a young age, it's not surprised where they are. I just hope that within the 24 years that they had, they'll continue doing the great job, and hopefully, man, to see more players being given opportunities, because also with a little bit of luck, I mean, things will go away. But for the fact that they've been doing this for such a long time, and 24 years later, now we're really, really seeing their work based on the players that are going to the World Cup. That's awesome.
Yeah, shout out to Engine. And I think the incredible thing, because I've also been working on the tournament from a company perspective for the last 3 years, is how much of a platform it gives to coaches. There's a lot of guys who maybe played in the PSL, and then they come in and then they coach. You see a Wayne Arons, Virgil Fries. You see all of these guys come in, and it's like, not only are we giving a platform to young players, but we are also giving a platform essentially to young coaches. And I think that is so important.
Maybe sorry, Dermot, to get into that. Maybe then, you know, now that we're speaking of the players, maybe at some point, just hopefully maybe in the next 5 years, we're able to transition to having to believe in South African coaches, young coaches, to be specific, you know. And I just hope that time will come. Yes, you do need different, maybe few coaches from Europe or out of the country with different expertise, but we need to start believing in our own coaches, but also our own coaches need to do themselves justice as well. You know what I mean? So it's about time that we really get into them.
Because when he talks about coaches, it reminds me of a certain boy, coach. His name is Boy, by the way. Sorry,
I was about to. It's happening.
So coach, he won Engine with Panorama. You know, and now it goes back to what you're talking about, Woodsy. With teams, the beautiful thing about the tournament is that it gives every teams that are, you know, part of the LFAs, you know, whether you are Hluhluwe All-Stars, you are Shayamoya from wherever, as long as you are within the LFA, you get the opportunity to play the tournament and showcase the talent and then to be the best among the best, you know. And what surprised me in a good way was seeing Panorama beating Kaizer Chiefs in the final against all odds. And Coach Boy, he left Panorama. He's now the DDC coach at Polokwane City. He also serves as the assistant coach at Polokwane City, senior first team, you know. So that alone, it shows the growth that Donna is talking about, that now when you get into that space, can we now have also coaches having the belief, because yes, now we're talking about the success stories of the players, you know. Your Ronald Donnelly's at Banyana, you know.
I was just about to say
as well.
I watched her there in Durban play for a team called Shooting Stars.
She was the
and they shot
striker. Now she plays for
Sundowns. She plays for Sundowns and for the national team
and scored at the
WAFCON.
So can we get to a point where it's not only the players, because yes, we can see now the blueprint with the players, it's working, it's been there for all these years, but can we get to a point now where, and I'm happy that even this year Coach Thabo Sinong is part of the ambassadors with his workshops, because it helped a lot when he had we had workshops at Talks, you know. It helped because now it's more about, okay guys, yes, we want the players, we want the excitement of developing players and all of that, but before we can get to that, we also now we need to get to a point where we develop coaches. We can't always point at Coach Rulani
Yes.
say he's
He can't be the last
He's one of one.
the last
Yeah.
one.
I can't be the last one.
There's more out there.
Yeah, I
Yes,
can't
now
be the
there's
last one.
Coach Roscoe, who's people are looking at him and saying, "Oh, there's something,"
There's
But you look
something,
at Coach Vela, I think he's been fantastic. At Chiefs. This is a coach. You look at Coach Mark Maambela at Sundowns.
Yeah.
He did that. at
growing
Cape
in
Town
leaps and
City.
bounds,
You
yeah.
Look at how Coach Lithuanian Stager.
Yeah.
He's been winning the tournament with Coach David Matebula as well.
Matebula, yeah.
So that alone, can we get to a point where before we can start looking outside and whatnot, Prapobi, I know you're watching this, but sometimes can we check at home and see what we have?
And we did that. Yeah. With us. Coach Paulos at some
Paulos,
point was DDC coach,
Yeah.
came on to the first team as an assistant coach. But when Coach Eric left, he was given the trust to lead the team. So maybe coaches can learn from us. Hadi Batlabi.
But also just to add on to what Linda is saying, also the fastest way, because we always speak about the players being thrown under the bus. Maybe is it too early? Hey, if you're old enough, you will play. We always have those scenarios. But I think for the coaches also that are coaching at the lower level or DDC, and they want at some point to see a future in him, also have him double up, in the senior team, because then you want to integrate, because you want that transition to
that bridge to be smooth.
And maybe that will help us not to look at the coach's age and just look at his work.
Yeah.
Because with Rulani, that was it. We always we dispose as to what work that he does, and then we spoke about his age all the time.
Yes. And if he played the game or not.
We're looking at those. Mourinho didn't play, my guy. You know what I mean? He's one of the best coaches in the world. So we're looking at those things. So, but also by helping the fans to actually being familiar with the faces that we speak of, it's the team's responsibility as well. Being part of the senior national team, being part of the professional senior team, you understand, because that's part of development from the coaches as well. So just hoping that the coaches as well, as much as we can train, as much as the first team can take 5 or 6 players from the DDC to train with the first team, just to, to give you that level of a carrot to understand what it means. We can also do that with the coaches so that we can one day and say, not just the story of Paulos, and I just hope it is not going to end with Paulos, but just saying going forward, we need to see guys that we used to see them play, being better coaches, sort of, come on, man. Just for being a dude, I just want to see 80% of South African coaches coaching the PSL. That's
nice.
That will be dope. But again, shout out to Engine for what they're doing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for not only developing Bafana Bafana players, but also for developing coaches.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we get to see more and more Engine graduates in Bafana Bafana and more coaching graduates.
And visitors also.
And visitors.
They're going to visit us.
They at the
I mean, I did speak about Engine giving me petrol.
If they give you petrol.
Available.
Now listen, guys, we do have a mystery guest as we did before this. We had Brian Baloy, we had Ernst Middendorp, and then this will be our third mystery guest. But before we bring in today's mystery guest, I want to talk about movement, because in football, it's all about movement. You pass it, you cross it, you make it happen, you win it.
Yeah.
And in life, we move things that matter. And this is a parcel, a gift, a document, stock for the side hustle, or something special for dad this coming Father's Day. No matter what it is, your parcel deserves more. All of us are fathers here, so that Father's Day gift can come. Now listen. That's where Courier It comes in. And just so we say it right, it's called Courier It. Like send it, like make it happen, like win it, like move it. Because Courier It is all about helping Mzansi people move what matters most, safely and simply. The mystery guest segment is proudly brought to you by Courier It.
So
the courier, the mystery guest. And this is the courier service that believes when it matters to you, it matters to them too.
Yeah.
With Courier, it's sending a special person doesn't have to feel complicated or cold. It's simple, it's human, it's made for everyday South Africans. So whether you're running a business or sending a gift or getting something important across the country, Courier It helps you do it with ease. Easy to send, easy to track. So we love it, we wait, love it, but don't forget to experience it with Courier It. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome our special guest that has been hand-delivered by Courier It, the proud sponsors of the segment.
louder.
You need to say that louder. Come on, man.
Now listen, this is someone short and sweet, a legend in his own right. Still today holds the record for being Orlando Pirates all-time top goal scorer. Can we guess any guesses for me? Napoleon. So when I met him earlier, he says to me, "Hey, your face looks familiar." And I said to him, "Of course, I was in your house." He's like, "Never." But I did an interview with him a few years ago.
Okay.
And I was in his house. To me, I kept pinching myself just to see if it's true. So please, let's put our hands together and welcome Vilakazi.
Who plays? Team up there. Is Donna.
I'm team.
Good.
Here's a nice one about this one.
Can we please make sure that So is well taken care of in terms of drinks and in terms of stock?
So tell me, what you call this thing? Since we have the legend here, you know, with Korea, they say dynamite comes in small packages.
I was about to say Korea.
So,
Father's Day dad jokes.
Nobody shows that Korea delivers whether it's big or small. They deliver it fast. They're dangerous.
Definitely they do.
So thank you so much for coming. So great to have you here.
Yeah, no, thanks, guys. Thanks. And, you know, I'm shaking, you know, sitting with these guys. I'm always shaking. I don't know why. Maybe they will tell me why am I shaking. I don't know. But I'm shaking now. But yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy myself.
No, thank you. This is a platform where we shoot it straight. If anything, just be like Donna. Donna doesn't hold any punches. But thank you so much for being with us. We have so much to discuss, and also shout out to Korea for making sure that our guests arrive here safely, conveniently, fast, and for coming on board, hopping onto the Car Wash platform.
So unwrap him then. Unwrap so then.
We must wrap him. Gentlemen, we are a few days away from the World Cup. I want to jump into that. So much to speak about. We will not speak about the visa saga because that happened.
Yeah.
Also, we cannot speak about who was selected and who wasn't because those people are in Pachuca already. Even the 6 that were left behind are also going thanks to some sponsors of Bafana Bafana. So that is sorted. The one concern that a lot of people have been complaining about, and it's been trending on social media the entire week, gentlemen, is the content coming through from Bafana Bafana, which I feel some type of way about because, number one, everything is content now, Brighton. I think we can take. You have your own photographer. And then I've seen Yoko. Everything is content. So the big complaint about Bafana Bafana is the quality of content that has been coming from Mexico. A lot of people feel like we are not there. They aren't taking us with them. And because the World Cup is so far away and because of how expensive it is, majority of South Africans won't be able to then afford it to go and see. So all we see is what they give us. And people are complaining that the quality that they're giving us is quite poor. I want to ask you guys, considering that the game is just days away, does it matter the quality of content that comes through? Or do we focus more on our preparation, making sure that we are ready for the game, regardless of how pop the content is?
You know, bro, maybe can I please jump into that one?
Please.
I know you said we should not obviously go back to speaking about who's in there, who's left behind. But thinking about it, with the whole announcement event, right, that was there, I so somehow feel, I think as Bafana, we should have, created something closer to what the Springboks would do, which is a documentary. I think today we know a lot about Makazola Mapimpi because we fell in love with his story. Not just him as an athlete, but knowing that Mazola does not have a family, but how hard he's fought, to get into the Springboks colors. And calling those players, even the ones that weren't selected, into that event, I felt it was, it was unique, but in my case, do not want to be unique where other people are being harmed. I felt that they should have allowed the players to be with their families and we could have seen what we've been seeing across the board.
With Brazil.
And see the emotional side of the players.
Yeah.
Like see Mbule with his family when he's announced.
Yeah.
See a Dido not being announced, probably still with his family.
Yeah.
Documentaries don't always have to be success stories.
Sure.
Right? And now that we are going to the World Cup, who says that we'll go to the next World Cup? Yes, as South Africans, we can always be optimistic as to whether, yes, next World Cup will be there and the next one and the next one. But the last time was 2002, right?
When we qualified.
When we
When we
qualified.
qualified, scrape out the
from
2010,
hosting,
apart from hosting.
Yeah.
So I felt that there could have been a story, hire the crew that did the Chasing the Sun.
Sure.
Or hire the one that does Pirates. Behind the scenes and all of that. Like hire so that we get to know the players. Look, these guys won't be footballers forever.
Yes.
Mbule won't be that arrogant player on the field, the one that tussles and bustles everyone and scores incredible goals. And we know him as Steves, player Yasichaba. We still want to see player Yasichaba. He's got a son. Sometimes he post his son. But can we get that piece or that attachment to the emotional side of the players? So going back to what you're asking, I feel SAFA should have invested so much into the people that were going to create a story. That even if we don't see anything now we should be ready just to watch the football. But knowing that there is a documentary that is being cooked. That when these boys come back, then we get to hear the stories. How was it landing in Mexico? How was it playing in this World Cup? How was it maybe
The visa issue.
Yeah. How was it winning and getting into the next round?
Yeah.
How was it not winning, right? So we need those stories so that even the young ones can be inspired. Even us sitting at home can know that, you know what, it takes a lot for a footballer to be a footballer because people do not know.
Perspective. Sorry to interject. Are we good at that? Maybe let me ask Amahrotmani, because obviously when it comes to both of you guys, you had the opportunity to be in between Lord the buffer to the new generation and the older generation, and transitioned with the social media times as well, you know. And
when so played, there was no
and so can relax. No one is gonna come for you when you're at the car wash. You're well protected. Yeah, no one is gonna say, hey, what? Don't worry, you are saying. But you get what I mean, Donna? Because I wanna understand that part, because he makes a good point, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, from the administration perspective, from the players' perspective, because at some point we did try having gold diggers with Benny, right? And one question was, okay, but where is it? Which house is he going to go to if we want to replicate the same thing that was happening abroad? You know, because it's going to be like a couple of players. For example, maybe it's going to be Donna, it's going to be Bernard Parker, it's going to be just, you know, a few of them from there.
Few players.
But do you get? So I want to understand that part. Do we have, you know, the capacity, and also for us as South African, not only you know, from the media side, but from the footballing perspective, are we open to do all those things?
Look, man, we know that with anything new, there's always going to be a little bit of pushback, because any evolution, there's always going to be a little bit of pushback because we're comfortable with where we were. Yes, we have 24 of those players. If you look at where they come from, their teams are very big on social media. Right, which means if figure like figure is alluding, if it has to happen to Bafana, it's not something new, right? But my question will always be as to then, are we the only ones who's happy to go to the World Cup, or SAFA also is? Because we knew that we were going to the World Cup.
Yeah, we didn't find out yesterday. Right.
So now you look at all the countries that are getting there. Let's speak about African countries.
Yes.
Forget Brazil, forget France. Look at African countries that whenever they go into the World Cup, it's a spectacle.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a special
Look at Turkey. You know, Turkey got in with the back door there to go to playoffs. When they were going to the airport, like 300 cars were escorting them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because World Cup to other countries is such a big thing, regardless of the superstars they had. That's why I'm asking, are we happy? Are we the only people that are happy to go to World Cup? Are they fans or players, not the association? That's what I'm asking. And the reason is, I'll engage so as well. The reason is, I'm not trying to poke holes in anything.
Poke holes, man.
But the reason is, we having the same issues regardless of which tournament we play. Regardless of whether it's females or males, we always have some sort of issues that we should have been dealt with before we leave, right? So now that we go in there, look at how we look. Guys, there's a reason why South American teams and African teams actually sing in the dressing room in the tunnel. It's our way of getting our rhythm and confidence and all this other stuff, right? And there's a reason also why we have so you know, how colorful we are from a cultural background.
Yeah.
We reciprocate that with the clothing that we wear.
Sure.
Right? We take it very seriously because not many players will actually go to the World Cup, no matter how good you are.
Sure.
Right? Siyalenda thina laphana. Salenda, and then kwaba nomuntu osebenzisa iPhone nyana or whatever phone engafishwanga kahle. Yeah, no, it's a concern. Akayisulanga kahle emuva, ne? Sure. And then
But those appreciate that, Tiko.
My point is, we have 2002 is a long time ago. Right, 2010 is a long time ago, right? We are in an era now where African countries actually recognize how good we are.
Yeah.
Based on Orlando Pirates and Miami Sundowns. Miami Sundowns are dominating the way in the CAF Champions League. So there's high expectations, regardless of who South America they know us or not. There's high expectation from the continent itself.
From Africa,
So we need to take ourselves seriously. Tina, let's start there. Gala.
And Donna, if we don't know, as obviously as SAFA, how to do it, if we can get players from Pirates, Chiefs, and the other PSL teams to be playing for the national team, rather than get the behind the staff, the production teams, to also...
Because we do the same thing with the physios, the technical
Young understand. Because we don't have...
Yeah,
Let's bring in the legend because does it matter to you?
Look, this, you know, I always ask myself because we from 96, they won the Africa Cup of Nations.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's important if teams they can keep records.
Yes.
Why our association can't do that?
Yeah.
The document.
Yeah.
You know, 96, you know, 2002, 2010, even now. Look, we've got kids. Yes. When we talk about 2010, they were like, Dad, please. You get what I'm saying? Yes. And to me, it means a lot.
Yeah.
It means a lot because, I mean, first country, the continent that is going to host the World Cup. It means a lot. Yes. But now, how am I bringing up to my kids to get that feeling of hosting that World Cup in the continent of Africa? It never happened before.
Yeah, sure.
So, you know, sometimes you get disappointed, but we have to live with it. Now we're going again to the World Cup. Seems like it's our under 17. They were playing Africa Cup of Nations. It seems like that.
Yeah.
Like we
Actually.
Do you mean that we don't take it seriously?
Yeah, it's like there's nothing because of. It's only the few people that they knew that our under 17 they were playing Africa Cup of Nations. Only a few people. Yeah. The same applies to the World Cup. You can go around now and ask people, hey, you guys, do you know that we are going to play World Cup? What is that? Yeah. They'll ask you that. And I don't think we give justice also to the players because, you know, we need to sit down and say, these boys, they sacrifice their lives.
Yeah.
They don't spend time with their families, always in their camp. You know, they get booed. Sometimes, you know, the legs, they can't carry them, but we want them to go there and score. You know, they sacrifice a lot. But to show that appreciation with you guys, we do appreciate you guys in terms of the effort that we're putting there. Yeah. We as a country, I feel that we're failing the boys. Yeah. You know, I can say now, let's leave SAFA out. Yeah. But us, what are we doing? You know, let me once alone and say, you know, hey guys, I'm behind you guys. Go all the way. I'm your number one fan. Let's forget about SAFA because remember that we don't feel the very same atmosphere, all of us, you know. So the people that they feel that, look, these boys, they deserve this. Yeah. Let's show up. Yeah. Let's show up because that's how I feel. Because really, it's they are there representing us, but we're quiet as if, no, you can go.
Do you think, because I'm taking what Donna is saying versus what you're saying, right, in terms of who's excited, and now you saying, forget about this. And for me, there's a certain feeling that says, it's two things. Are we okay about things being okay and saying, as hambe Bafana? Or is it a thing of us now being at a point where we've reached that ceiling where we know that there's nothing that can be done or said that's going to change whatever? Because you're talking about the whole thing in 96, right? Yeah. The only time it was now when Netflix did the thing, you know.
How many years later? 30 years.
And not only that, right? You look at also in the past, you spoke about Confed, playing Confed.
Yes.
But prior to the Confed, I think there was a generation that went to AFCON, Burkina Faso as well. You know, a lot of national team Bafana players who probably have silver medals, if not third, you know, meaning that we've been performing well. So are we at a point in a country whereby we just wait for things to go wrong so that we can start pointing? Are we reactive as opposed to being proactive?
But sorry, so it comes back to what I was initially trying to say. Uguti, I'm not here to point fingers as to then who's wrong or who's right.
Yeah.
But just because I'm a football person at the end of the day, yes, I'm a former footballer, but right now I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Besides, I'm not talking from an analytic point of view. I'm speaking from a fan point of view. So now, as a fan, you have to find a way to make me excited to watch you. Look, also the time difference that we have. They're going to America, they're going to Mexico, they're going to go play in Atlanta.
8 hours between us.
Yeah.
And
So now we supporting Bafana. We've been saying ever since Hugo Bruce came, ever since we've done well in AFCON, things have changed. As you then, the feeling has changed towards Bafana. We're excited to watch Bafana. Right? But then as much as we're excited to watch Bafana, these are the players, and also look at 80%, 90% are local players. We're excited because those are players that we see week in, week out.
Sure.
But then what I'm saying is, if we have, in parallel, we have a Springbok team that is so successful, regardless of how they do things, because those are totally different situations, right?
Yeah.
We get to see them the way that we can relate to them. That's why we actually be able to go, you know, go to the stadiums and buy
Even though you're not a rugby fan.
That's what I'm saying. So now, but also because I can only assume that people that are in those type of positions, they understand the importance of telling a story within this game itself. We're football, we're telling stories as well. We're not disregarding what rugby is doing or cricket is doing. We also tell our own stories through football. But then when we tell, the people that are supposed to tell our stories, which are the people that are actually going to be playing. So if you're not playing, you're not playing, you need to think outside the box. Then what is it that I can tell? How can I then back home making sure that the boys are being supported? Because you're not playing in Zimbabwe, you're not playing in Zambia, you're playing so far away. How can then a Linda who's not a football person to wake up at 3 and watch Bafana Bafana? So now you're not entitled to be in that position and say, no, at home they'll watch. No, you're not. Because there's the thing, you think that you're going to be there in the next world. You know how difficult it is to get into the world.
16 years.
You know how difficult it is to qualify.
To be in it.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. It comes back to this thing that we always get into, which annoys me. Every time when there's a big tournament in South Africa, we part of, whether it's Banyana, whether it's under 17, whether it's a senior team, there's always issues. That's what I'm asking. Are we happy to play these tournaments or not?
Yeah.
The good thing is we do have a competition and an amazing opportunity for one of our viewers to win an exclusive gift. Now, there are 3 prizes up for grabs. One viewer stands a chance to win a 5,000 Rand voucher towards an experience from buyagift.co.za, buyagiftexperience.co.za. And 2 viewers each stand a chance to win 1 Bafana Bafana shirt each. Right? So love it, wear it, love it, but don't forget to experience it with Courier It. Now, if you want to win, to enter, all you need to do is sign up and send it to go.courierit.co.za/TCW. TCW standing for the car wash. So sign up and send something special during the promo period. And each time you send something, you'll get another entry into the lucky draw. And we didn't forget to mention that if you sign up now, you will get a 50 Rand credited to your wallet. Support your first delivery. No drama. No complications. Just sign up and send it. You could win. I mean, look at what we got. A little Napoleon. A little Napoleon. So the competition does close on the 31st July 2026. And the winner will be announced at the beginning of August 2026. Courier it. When your parcel deserves more, and so do you. So, 2 important things I want to discuss, and it's so pertinent that we have you here. By the way, I used to play for Randburg. I used to score lots of goals. Problem is we didn't document it. There's no. But if there was a documentary, I would have been there. But what I want to ask you is, there's a slight issue. Bafana bonuses. We know that the players get paid. I don't know if everyone knows this, but players, correct me if I'm wrong, Donna. For every national team appearance, you get paid. right? Am I correct in saying
Appearance.
For the World Cup?
no,
To be called.
cap,
To be
for
called.
cap,
To be
yeah.
called. Your name is there. You get paid.
You get paid.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
So you don't get paid per cap.
This is not rugby, my friend.
Okay.
No.
I want to ask you,
Yeah.
bonuses, how crucial is that to have that incentive sorted out? We've seen in the past, we had countries strike because they couldn't reach agreements or bonuses. Just before we kick off, days before, how important is it that we sort
Look,
out that issue?
it's not something that actually we should be talking about. I mean, as we play the qualifying games, immediately we qualified, done. Then that's where you sit down and say, players that are going to be selected for the World Cup, this is how much of the cap. Simple. It should be like that. Why are we waiting towards the tournament starts? Then now we start to negotiate. You know, to me, it's always been this thing of we're trying to find some loopholes in terms of why we didn't go through to the second round. And now we're going to say, no, but these players maybe are greedy, these players there. No. Let's sort the off-the-field issues first done out. And then allow the coach and the players to focus on the game.
Fully.
So now, 3-4 days before the kickoff, now they need to sit down and have a meeting. Instead of them worried about how we're going to defend, how we're going to attack and all of that, put their mind in the game. Now they have to deal first with the money. We all knew, all of us knew that they're going to the World Cup. So why we didn't plan from that time? Same applies to in terms of the preparations. Let me put it that way. I mean, we prepare ourselves as if we didn't know that there's a World Cup.
That's true.
These are the things that I get hurt to. I put myself in those players' shoes to say, I'm sorry, boys, that you are in this situation. While you need to focus on the game, but you have to deal with this. And it's not something new. It's been happening for years and years. So I don't know whether it goes back to your question to say we should accept and understand to say this is how we're going to live, this is what is going to happen. That's why when I started to talk, I said from 96, I mean, we're talking about the association, from 96, documentary, nothing. Same issue, bonus. Again, 2002, Africa Cup of Nations, same thing. 2010, same thing. You know, we cannot have one thing over and over again. I think we get tired of that.
Yes.
You know, that's why we're no more talking about it. We just keep quiet because we know that this is going to happen. You know, the only thing that I always say to myself, I pray that these boys, they can try and focus. It's not easy because you sacrifice your time, you leave your family and all those things that you're supposed to do. It's off-season, you should be resting and all of that, especially Mamelodi Sundowns players have been in and out, they've never get a time to rest. But now they have to sacrifice themselves and put themselves in that position. And then now they have to deal with something else.
And get a treatment on a team in. You know, the painful thing is us coming from different livelihoods. We come from different livelihoods. We spoke about it as players, right? When you get to professional setup. It's the same thing when you get to the national team. You look at players that come from different club setups. And I at some point, there was a moment when I played with Cirello. And he got injured at Bafana. And it was painful for him to say, you know what, I'm not even going to put my hopes high on maybe being fixed here because it's not going to happen. Hence, I'm going back to that thing of, are we at a point where we are okay with things the way they are or not? Because now you find a player from Mamelodi Sundowns, whether Kaizer Chiefs or Pirates, right? They understand when it comes to professional treatment that they're getting. Then you get to the national team. You're expected to put your body on the line. You're expected, because everyone speaks about representing your national team with pride and all of that. But the things that are happening, you know, behind the scenes are disheartening and discouraging to a point that you're also thinking that if I get injured, it's off-season now. There are players probably who are out of contract. You spoke about having to play for a contract when you go into the 2010. Now you're thinking about a whole lot of things, the bonus issues. You're not getting that.
Hey, Brighton, who is we? When you're saying, like, are we comfortable? Like, Who are you referring to?
No, I'm referring to us as the footballing people and the fans to say
As South Africans,
because you know why I say that.
No,
I've realized
we're
that
not in charge. Like,
Yeah?
you know what's my fear?
yeah.
Like, I think, like, let's call a spade a spade.
Sure.
And not say it's a working tool. The people who are in charge is the association.
Yeah.
You can't say we. Like, bro, we can only get this platform to speak about Bafana and wish them well. But we are not in charge now to go around in the hood, drive my car. Hey, you must watch Bafana play. Hey, the hype. The people in charge to bring the hype up.
Yeah.
The people who are in charge to make sure that the boys where they are, they can feel the love. It is the association. Sure. The sponsors that they've brought on board, work with them, bring in footballers or former footballers to come in and do the work. Those are the people that can bring in, the fans. Even that fan as you get Khrodman so should be the one doing I don't know what you call this.
an activation.
An activation around to say, gents, Bafana's playing. Meet up with other legends. Have these kind of conversations.
Have
watch parties with the legends. But right now, what's going on? Even with that part, Bafana, and then it's influencers that are doing the activations.
Yes.
But now, bro. No, but honestly, the bottom line, bro, football is for footballers. The people that should benefit primarily in this long let me drink the water.
No, it's okay.
But do you get that?
No.
In 2010, how quickly were your bonus issues sorted out?
No. A couple of days before the tournament.
Couple of days
I've
before.
spoken about this for a long time. It's just
always the
it's
case.
annoying because it's like Zoe said. That's why I kept quiet, because he did say, he alluded to the fact that it's always happening. For me,
always happening.
yeah, but you know what the problem is when it comes to that? It's the people that are going to get a stick at the players. Which is exactly what happened to us. Iba ngathi manje thina we go to the national team for bonuses.
For bonuses,
Hey, wait a
yes.
minute. Wait. We have a professional contract. We are workers at the end of the day. We need to get paid.
Employees, yeah.
And as much as we employees, when you qualify for a big tournament, a country that qualifies, you're getting money.
Yeah.
Right?
Parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who's the product at the time? It's the players. Who's not benefiting? The product itself. The product itself, the person that they're gonna watch is not benefiting. So it comes back to all this thing. I don't think we like going to those big tournaments because it exposes so many things that we don't want to expose. Because we can't be dealing with the same issue 20 years, 26 years down the line. It's the same thing. And then you want to rally us to come and watch Bafana Bafana. For me, I'll watch Bafana Bafana based on the fact that I understand how it feels to play that level. I understand what it means to wear for that jersey, but I also understand the pain that they're going through because I went through the same thing. Right? And it is hard to go around and speak about it because the people that we speak to never really want to have this type of conversations. Because you cannot look, dude, like we cannot leave the fact that we nearly never qualified because of a yellow card. And let it sink in.
Then we must
a yellow
because
card.
of visas.
A yellow
we
card.
have 12 players on the field.
Leave that. You understand? I'm telling you where it started. I'm not talking about visas first. We nearly never qualified because of a yellow card. Right? You know what I mean? And we qualified when last year. We knew about the qualification to go to the World Cup last year. Yes. We had probably 6 to 7 months, 8 months. We're speaking about this with the players that have got 8 months to actually, add their names into the World Cup, right? So now within that, we come back to what Zoe spoke about the preparation. We get to the World Cup. Okay, we announce the squad, whatever the case may be. The team that you're going to play against, which is Mexico, already there are 3-4 friendlies in. Belgium, Ghana, they 4 friendlies in.
Yes.
We're playing Guatemala here, so
Nicaragua.
Yeah, that. And I'm not taking shots at that, but I'm saying that it comes back to that because then the lack of preparation, it really, really hampers our performances, right? And then you've got an overload of players from Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns. You've got an overload of players, yes. But then the preparation still needs to be part of it. Sure. Right? Look at where we ended within the league. It's very difficult for Hugo Broos to have preparation within that. That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't have two working tools working together. So for the fact that they've been clashing for almost 20 years, that's why one hand is suffering, the other one is benefiting. So when it comes to the national team, we're always going to have the same issues. Always going to have the same issues because the very same grips that have been there when Tso was playing with number 10, they're still there.
Yeah.
It's still there.
The same colors of the wall, they're still the same. It's just that the only thing that changes is players every generation. And we want the relays, we want the Mapenas, we all want the younger ones to actually continue with the national team color. To actually, now the national team is here, we want everybody else to try get into the national team and elevate it. But how can we elevate when there's something that's pulling us back?
Yeah.
Everything is.
How?
Tell me, like, how do you, like, going back to what they're saying, how do we get to a point where, because I don't understand how the dynamics work in terms of the hierarchy, right?
Sure.
I only know that there's obviously the mother body, there's a president and whatnot. So I know that in a republic, country, whatever, sometimes there'll be a coup that takes over if this man doesn't want to step down or whatever in terms of precedence, right? How does it work when it comes to football? Because the reason it goes back to what you were saying when you're asking, Guti, when I say are we okay with this? What do we mean? Because Donna is talking about 20 years. So it's been mentioning from 96 and all of that. And we're talking about now the improvements that needs to happen. But also us. Did we get to a point where, again, that's my question, did we get to a point where we're like, Manje Gafana, because if nothing changes there, nothing's going to change.
Can I raise my hand,
Yeah.
please?
Yeah.
Yes, we are there, Brighton. The reason is because we can make noise, but the creators are still there. The same people that have been running for over 26 years are still the same.
How do you change that? Is there a way?
My man. I'm not
So-
saying I'm not here to say we must change the leadership.
Yes.
I'm not here to say that, but I'm saying if you look at all our biggest competitors, which is our African counterparts, Egypt or whatever that you can call Senegal, look at the team. There's always somebody, there's always people that played for the national team within the organization itself.
Yes.
Look at Bafana Bafana. Leave Helman Mkelele alone because he's an assistant coach. Look at Bafana Bafana. Not just now. Look at Bafana Bafana. The only time now, because of the guys were left for Mexico to go play friendly, they'll be able to be there as legends that have played in the World Cup to support the guys.
Yes.
We never have anybody that played football before to make the players understand somebody that they can relate to.
Sure.
The reason is because we always have things that we're sweeping under the carpet. We want to hide things. So now when you have Tso there, even if Tso knows that has experienced the bonus issues, you can use Tso to speak to the boys. So now reminds them of the importance of wearing the badge. Guys, let's forget about this thing. Let's trust Damon and Mhlongo to deal with this thing. But our biggest focus is this and this and this and this. Right?
Yeah.
Because there's other guys as well that they understand that being there, I'm not going to play. I'm going to play my best part. But I know what's in your Pumana something. So we cannot dismiss that. But just because as a fan, I'm thinking, it's a privilege, it's an honor. No, I worked hard to get there.
Yeah.
You're not there when I'm putting in the hours of training. Now that I'm there, I'm fighting for what's rightfully mine. You cannot judge me as a fan. You know what I mean? So it comes back to that order. For the fact that we don't have any supporting structure of former footballers, former national team players to be there. Dude, if I'm an organization, there's no way that Dr. Kumulu can be there. There's no way Lucas can be there. There's no way, but there's a lot of guys, but so people that had an impact in the national team colors. I'm not talking about just play. Impact in the national team colors. But Benis, there's no way that I'm going to put them there because you look at all our country, it comes back to the same thing. Guys, if we want to compete against your Senegalese, the Moroccans, let's copy what they're doing. Look at Senegal, my friend. There's still Diouf there.
Diouf is
nobody knows what he's doing there. You know what I mean? Those guys are such an important people in the national team because they understand what it means to wear the jersey. They were there in 2003.
And Tono, you're right. You look at the AFCON in the final, Morocco versus Senegal. When the players walked into the tunnel, Diouf was speaking to the captain, Mane. And Mane ran into the dressing room to bring
fetch the other guys out.
So that's the experience we need. But us.
You agree, so?
So it comes back to what Linda's saying. So instead of having those former footballers that wore the national team jersey, that stood in line to listen to the national anthem of Nkosi Sikelel, before it was what, they're sending people for views. They're sending people that are just there to take content for views instead of sending people that when things are tough, somebody's going to stand up and say things to the players that they want to hear.
Amen.
You know, but for Tumina, one thing that I've realized here at home is one thing. I don't think we respect our former players, our legends.
No, we're not.
If we can do that, I think we'll find a way of helping the young ones that are coming in.
Yes, sir.
But as long as we don't respect them,
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, everyone that is playing soccer in South Africa,
Now you sound like a
They will come and hit that bottle.
So sound like you're American.
No,
Everyone is playing soccer.
It's football,
It's football, my love.
Ebafethu, let me tell you. That soccer team. You guys need football. And then it goes to this language need more than football. I'm invented. You see. So number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 8, number 7. Yeah. And then now today we call it 4-3-3. Yeah. So, but guys, what I'm saying is that I hope one day that we can start to respect. Once we can respect our legends, I think that's where we want to get to see the right things to do in terms of transforming our football and transforming in terms of planning and helping how the association and the teams. Because remember that when you've got this mother body, if the mother body doesn't do the right things, it's going to go down to the teams. So it's not something that we only cry here, but we wanted the head. If the head can be okay, it's going to go down also to the regions. And then I think we will move in the good direction, in the right direction.
No, 100%. And I think that brings me to a perfect segue to our next section. And I want to do it while we are still here in the segment sponsored by Courier. Guys, in 2026, and then maybe it's a harsh statement, how do we still have one of our most talented players? And I want to say it because we have one of our most talented players here. We have one of our most gifted players. In the modern day, we have one of our most skillful players here. Guys, that issue of Sipho Mbule, we saw that the club have decided against renewing his contract. After winning a treble, they then decide they had until the end of May. Then his agent has come out, Donna, to say, so many people have spoken about it. We have stories for days where players have gone wayward. They have come back to say, guys, we have gone this way. It didn't work out for us. This is what you should avoid. And then we have such a talented player, 29 years old. He's now without the club officially. Clearance in hand. You spoke about how bad it is for a player to have the clearance in hand. Guys, so
look, there's one thing that I wish that will happen. We all come in different backgrounds. And we find ourselves as superstars. And it gets to our heads. I've seen that overseas. When a player comes to the team, there's psychologists, there's a team in terms of guiding the player.
Taking care of someone.
And I want you guys to listen to me. They are not advising.
Sure.
Because when you're talking about advising and guiding, people are getting lost there. My understanding is that when you advise, you are giving that player or somebody an option to say, either turn right or turn left. But when you guide him, you tell him you're going to go straight. You get what I'm saying? So here at home, I think it's like we're throwing our players under the bus. Knowing that Utso Upumekasi doesn't have a good background, Utso now Utso is playing this, is getting money. Obviously, Utso for Stanford doesn't know anything to do with money. Utso will want to buy a Red Bull, put a Red Bull every day, and not knowing that when you take that money and buy a Red Bull, it doesn't come back. You get what I'm saying? So I think if teams, they can get a team of, psychologists and all these professional people to guide the players.
Not advise.
Not advise. Advise, you give him a choice. But a guidance, he doesn't have a choice. He have to go that way. So our players, I think and I feel that even myself, we were given an option.
Sure.
And when you're giving me an option, I've got the right to say no. But after 10 years, now,
should have.
You get what I'm saying? Now the time flies. So we need to guide players to say, you're going to move this direction, because after 10 years, you still have a life after football. So the mentality that I will say players they've got is that, no, even after 10 years, I will still be playing.
Sure.
But some of them lucky to play more than 10 years, some 5 years. You know, and after that 5 years, there's no option. You know, so I think if not the teams, maybe, you know, us as Amachi, as legends, maybe let's find a way of saying we're gonna guide these boys. Whether they like it or not, we're gonna hold their hands to say, you're gonna go there. You're not gonna go that side, you're gonna go there. Because it's not easy when you're retired and you have to start a life.
Fresh,
it's not easy. It's not, I'm telling you, it's not easy. It takes a lot, you know, and there's a lot of things that you need to cut out. And if you look at the life in general, then you can say how many players that after they've retired, they've managed to come back and be, you know, people and really be there and helping others. It's not an easy thing. So it's very important that let's find a way as we're sitting here.
Now, it's the same thing that you guys were saying now in terms of like the respect that we have for our legends and all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to this and I'm trying to paint a picture in a sense that how do you pour from an empty cup? Because also you look at majority of former players, right? Most of us, we are still hurting as former players. And when we talk about talent in South Africa or in Africa per se, like we are blessed in abundance from the talent perspective. But one thing I've realized is that we neglect the most fundamental aspect, which is the psychological aspect of a player, the emotional side of things, right? And with that being said, for example, I'll sign a player from Dunu, bring them in, city lights, talking about the guidance and everything. You don't get that integration phase of helping the player in terms of, hey, look out for this, this and that and whatnot. Fine. Some might say the honors lie with the players, right? But when you fast forward it right now, you're saying players that have walked that path need to come in and also play a role. Are those players being afforded the opportunity? Because, and I'm talking about the former players, you're not given the platform. Because, you know, when it's like that, I mean, it's hard in a sense that if he's been advocating for Relay, and before even we qualified, you kept on saying, I hope. And so many times you were misquoted. Right?
Yeah, but I hate really.
And then
you're jealous
you've always advocated for your teammates more than anything else, whether you are not playing or not. Every time we always have the negative connotation of it. To say, why is he saying that? He's not allowed to. Don't allow him to speak to this boy. What if he's influencing him in a certain way? So hence I say for me, it's always difficult to pour from an empty cup because us, in general, already sidelined. And by the time you start talking about certain things, it's coming from hatred. Are you coming from a privileged position, or you're coming from an underprivileged position, you know, because why are you saying that you didn't get the opportunity to, you know? So all those things for me, it makes it hard. That's why I don't know where to start, because when we spoke about the Sipho thing, we've mentioned it here on the show as well, say there's other things like the demeanor. We've seen how he is, how heavy, and all of those things from the footballing perspective. And we don't know, obviously, from the outside, much as we might have.
It hasn't been confirmed, but there's a hem.
But all I'm saying is, from our end, do we have the platform to do that, to step in and say, hey guys, from my end, this is how I want to help, and it's allowed?
Delmain, we have only got one thing to say about the question you've asked. Talent opens doors for you. Discipline, commitment, hard work keeps you in the room. Done.
You played with him.
We don't want to know the hems and the what. The person knows if it didn't work out, if they've given it their all. That's the thing. Because this life thing, sometimes I think we babysit a lot. Right. We try to be nice, but being nice is not nice. It's not a good thing.
It's not the solution.
Sometimes be kind. Say what hurts, but like tough love. So that somebody can learn from it. Right. I said it the other day. Maybe I'd say it again. Is that when you're giving your flowers, think about it as real flowers. If you get flowers now, you must water them to keep them alive. And watering is hard work. Watering is commitment. Watering is resilience. Watering is sacrifice. It's all those things that come together that people say is success or some of them call it luck. It's not that. When we started this podcast 7 episodes ago, when we were still discussing how we're going to go about it, it was all the hard work that we've put in. Today, we're on episode 7. We're celebrating 2.5 million viewers. We're getting a sponsor on board. We're speaking this. This, to some people, looks like luck. Teko is there. Figo is there.
So
Brighton is there. So therefore, these guys deserve to get there. No. It's the hard work that we come in. It's the preparations we do, right? It's coming in, looking the part, right? From the first episode. So the only thing I'm just going to say, bro, is talent opens doors. But for you to stay in there, you need all these other things that I've mentioned.
True.
I'm
looking at you.
Dude, I've said it. I've said a lot about certain instances. Firstly, let me draw from my own experience. When I was going through a dark time, when I was labeled as a player that was a problem in the dressing room because fans don't understand and they don't know. Sure. And also the teams, just to give also the teams props, as then they shield a lot of nonsense that players are doing.
Yeah.
So at the time when I was going through stuff, I was labeled whatever that I was, and I didn't know who to go to speak to regarding this huge responsibility that I was given. Sure. And the responsibility that I was given to, that I thought that I've earned, not understanding what comes with it. It's being a superstar and being a role model. I never grew up with anybody that can say this is a role model because I didn't know what the traits are for being a role model. So you've been given all these things and hoping that you'll be able to handle them. It comes back to what Zoe said, different backgrounds. You've been giving all this money hoping that you'll be able to handle them, giving all this fame hoping that you'll be able to handle it.
Yeah.
But the problem is, what Linda said is so true. We tend to be babysitted so much that when things are not going well, we always are quick to blame other people, the environment, or the coach or this. But the most difficult thing is to look yourself in the mirror. That's the most difficult thing. And for the fact that we're sitting here speaking of a talent, the question is, does that talent look at themselves and say, I'm very talented, therefore I deserve to be there, let me put in the work? I don't know. Right? But what I can tell you is, like, for me to get out of that hole that I put myself into, I had to work even harder than I used to when I was called superstar. I had to work even twice as hard, 3 times as hard. And those sacrifices that you speak of, I realized that, okay, Sharp, for me to come out of here, because if I fail now, I'll actually, validate what everybody's saying. How then do I come out of this? It has to come to me. Where are we taking accountability as footballers? Because my job, if I'm signing so, I'm giving you money to do what? To display your talent.
Yes. Yeah.
As to then, what is it that you do with your talent? It's up to you.
Up to you. Yeah.
When I terminate my contract because you don't give me what I've expected, why we try to babysit this? We try to find reasons not to. Guys, let me tell you one thing. I grew up in Soweto. I grew up knowing that there's big teams as Chiefs and Pirates. We grew up idolizing those guys. We knew that for me to become a big superstar, I need to play for those teams. Yeah. I've watched So playing for Orlando Pirates. I know what those teams do to an individual. It's up to you, my friend, to understand the opportunities have been given to you. Sure. For us to sit here and trying to think as to then what goes through somebody else, sometimes it's like, when are we footballers, our individualism take accountability? Because the problem is, it comes back to what Zoe said. And I'm going to emphasize on that, because when we're sitting here wearing ties, people are thinking it's easy. After retirement, life starts and it's very difficult for a former footballer. Your phone doesn't ring as much because you don't have a man of the match accolades. We didn't win a man of the match, so you call the phone
bubble popping, because you guys ultimately live in the bubble. As footballers, you don't experience reality the way everyone else does.
But you know what Dr. Ivan Koza says? He says you take a 180-degree turn.
Yeah.
So when you're a footballer, the crowd is in front of you. But when you retire, it's behind you.
Yeah. So
there's no one behind you.
So when that happens, now is the challenge is now when you were playing for a certain club and going to a filling station was a problem for you. To go buy groceries was a problem for you because you had to think twice. If I go there, I'm going to be greeted by... Now, you walk in there, nobody cares. Yeah. And with footballers, we have insecurities. We all want to be seen, we all want to be heard. And once you play for those teams, you're going to be seen.
Sure.
So now... And most of the time as when you have such an abundant talent, even other fellow fans of different teams will love you still, regardless of whether you're playing for them or not. Yes. So sometimes we take for granted of the talent that we have, natural talent that we have, and be quick to sit on the couch and say, yeah, but me now is better than Linda. You were, where la? Yeah. But you never competed on these 4 lines. Yeah. So now this 4 lines comes back to say, guys, when you're 33 in South African football and you're still playing for a big team, you're lucky. Yeah. You are lucky if you're still contracted to top 4, top 6 team, you are lucky. Yeah. You always going to be told to retire, whether you're going to retire because there's a new one, there's always somebody on the, on the verge of coming to replace you. But you also must understand that you're chosen based on opportunity been given by playing for such clubs with the 0 that has been added, with the fame and the acknowledgement. You're taking your kid, to Kuro, to all those nice schools. You've made your kid to be accustomed to a certain lifestyle. Yeah. After football, now you sit on the table like this where you have to decide what to cut, and everything that you cut is important. But now you need to choose which one is the most important thing. That's a very difficult thing to do. And I've always said there's no football in South Africa that will get paid well enough to retire well, even after 10 years. I've said this so many times. And I'm saying to you, based on the person that really got the sponsors, and I'm saying to you again, it's very difficult. We're thinking that the 20 rand that I have, it will never end. It will push me until it's a lie.
Sure. Yeah. So maybe if you're on the way in there, so
I this game you learn in life. I remember one day, may his soul rest in peace, my father. That's how I started to look at life in a different way. He said to me one day, you had this girlfriend, and then she's no more with you. Yes. And this one, yes. And this one, yes. And this one, yes. Okay. So you think all those women that you left
are a problem?
They are a problem. So you're not a problem.
But all
what's the most common denominator there? It's you.
I was like, no, but this one, she did this, that one did that. Okay, but what did you do? Then I started to turn around and I was like, oh, okay. That's like the problem, it's me. It's not them. Because I couldn't understand or try to understand and engage to find a way of working together. Sure. That's how I turned around and said, whew, football, ne? There's supporters, there's chairman, there's a team manager, there's a coach, there's teammates. There's no way these people, they can say, no, but so you are wrong, you didn't come to training. And then I want to explain why I didn't come to training. Yeah.
But it's you.
But it's me. So go back to what Figo was saying, to say there's a babysitting all the time. Why players, they can't take account and be accountable of the things that they're doing. We learn in different ways. Like I said, that's where I started to be accountable for all the things that I did.
Once you
of not going to training, I train twice a week, 3 times a week, I go and play. I thought it was normal. But for me, maybe it's the topic for another time. Why not I was going to training twice a week all the time. Not today.
But wait. The club was training for 5 days a week.
No,
training for cheese.
I was in cheese the past weekend. He said, so twice. Only come in Thursday or Friday. And say, hey, let's
training twice. And then score on Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And come back next week Thursday.
No, at that time.
GOALSCORER.
No, at that. No.
No, it's true.
No, the problem was...
But that's another conversation.
We'll talk about this some other time.
We have to have you back. We'll courier you again.
No worries.
Nice segue.
But what I'm saying is that, Figo, you are correct. I think they need to start to sit down and take accountability of the things that they're doing. Because Tico just said, Uguti, when he was going through a lot, there was no one.
Yeah.
And here we are, we're saying, guys, we are there for you.
Yeah. That's my point.
We are there for you. I tried to play my part in some of the players, try to get their numbers. I spoke to, for example, I know it's hard.
Sorry to interject. Yes. You know why I said that, Figo, Mina? I've had my fair share. Also.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe you guys are amongst people that are close to me. I've done it all. to a point, maybe the only thing I didn't touch in my life was probably Nyao because I was scared of that. There are many voices, Figo. And amongst those voices, you still want to look at yourself in a mirror. There are times when you look at yourself in a mirror, you are even ashamed of looking at that mirror because you are scared of what you are facing there, on top of the voices that you hear. I totally understand the whole thing of honors lie with the player.
Yeah.
But right now, including the dynamics, family dynamics, or the livelihoods, or wherever we come from, there are moments where when you look at that mirror, you don't even recognize that. How do you then listen to that person? That's why I advocate for one. Let's talk, gents. And right now we're in a month where it's mental health month for men. There are times where I can see that Figo is trying. I can see, and I'll make an example with you, okay? People don't know that you fight every day your battles with your injuries. You love football so much. And with that being said, it's not because you are doing all of these because you're hyping yourself or anything, but because you understand that, hey, maybe there's so much. Piano is looking at you right now. There's so much that's happening around you that needs you to be strong and to man up.
Yeah.
But my question to this is, there are times where you can't be strong anymore. There are times where you can't recognize this person. There are times where there's a lot of voices around you. Are you saying to me now, do I still have to rely on that? That's not working? Or I need to find a crutch in Donna that's going to help?
But Brighton, just to, before Belinda adds on to that, is I'm going to say this. Now, I'm still a student of football.
Sure.
There's a lot of guys that I watch play professional football when I was growing up. I idolized my game in so many of them. I even fantasized with the cars they were driving, that I'm going to drive this Tabo, Civic, 325, all the type of stuff. So my point is, we all at some point had entourage, all of us. We all had people, someone going to this. We all had those, right? We all had to face our own demons. We did. We all made, painful sacrifices. We all did. It came from us. But what I'm saying is, like, we all going to face difficulties, whether in life or in football.
Sure.
Why are we always running from all those problems that we have? So now, if I'm running from one club to another, I'm not solving anything. Because that problem is still going to follow me. Even if when I'm looking in the mirror, I'm saying, let me change the mirror. Trust me, the same mirror that comes in that is new, I'm still going to see the same because the reflection is the same.
The common denominator.
It comes back to me. So now, if I'm not accountable for what I'm doing, regardless of the noises, you must understand that I'm having an entourage because of the talent that I have. When I'm putting in the work, nobody's there.
Yeah.
But when it's fun time, they're the first one to tell me of the gig guidance, the convoy, there's all white, there's all this. That's what I'm saying. That we went through all those things. So speaking about girlfriends, we went through all those things.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's not unique for a certain player to go through those things, because every single player at some point they had to face problems and challenges that you feel like you can't make it anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, if I can play Figo, if I can play in a cup final, knowing that I've been trying, and I can feel with it, then I put injection and go and play, even if I give 60% of myself, just to show, not to myself only, to my teammates, good guys, even when things are tough, I'm there. It's a sacrifice that nobody has to choose for, it's you. So now, sometimes, like, because the football is a game of teammates, we rely on so many people. Of course, to be a superstar in the game, you have to rely on the other 10. Of course,
they're still individuals.
But why don't we deal with an individual first? Why you always want to group things? I'm saying, and I'm still going to emphasize, we all going to face our challenges. We did.
Life is fair because it's unfair to everyone.
Yeah, dude, like, at some point, I had my problems. My problem was so big that I was sleeping in the car in my own house, but still had to go to training and go to the game and actually play. So when the game ends, I wish that the game doesn't end, because I know that the problem is still there. But nobody cares. I had to deal with the problem that every day that I'm facing that is disturbing my life. It's an accountability
on you.
On me.
Yeah.
Not on my friends, not on my teammates, not on my club or my friends. It's on me. And at that change, as difficult as it was, as embarrassing as it was, it helped me at some point. The pain that I had, it helped me to propel, to understand, okay, I don't want to put myself in that position again. And understanding that between the group that I have, because I had an entourage, you saw I was a musician. Within the group that I have, if I didn't have what I have, would they still be here?
Yeah.
No, because they were not there to begin with when I started.
Yeah.
So now, when are we going to be uncomfortable and stop blaming everybody else but ourselves? I mean, come on, guys. We can't be speaking about the same thing every season. There's a lot of talented players that need an opportunity that you have. You think that you're entitled because of you having an opportunity. Once it's taken away from you, you realize that you how messed up you are.
Yeah.
That's it. Finish and clear.
Sure.
Ever.
This is often my favorite part of the show, where we get into deeper conversations, because part of what we do here is to try and educate, so that when a footballer does watch the show, they feel like speaking to you.
Yeah.
They take away from it, and that is something that is so incredible. And it's also part of, again, Coach Ernst, when he was here, he said, what is the purpose of this thing? Do we want to entertain, or do we want to educate? And I think this educational part of it is so important. With that being said, gentlemen, we are now reaching the referees at a time. I can't believe how fast time goes when we are actually here. I wanna do something in light of, obviously, Bafana Bafana playing. Maybe each of us, we have a camera. Donna, yours would be there. Figo, yours would be there. So I can imagine you'd probably, so and Brighton, your cameras would be there.
Okay.
So
Brighton doesn't see, though.
No, you can see.
The cameraman wave.
You won't do that to Brighton.
He's always injured. He's either in the
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just saying, Chief. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm quiet.
Let's put the glasses here. Let's head to the camera.
You see, that's why I'm quiet.
Don't know what is right. Yeah, don't let him bait you. But listen, gentlemen, on a serious note, you look into your camera and you have 1 minute, Figo. So Brighton, Donna, and you are in that Bafana Bafana dressing room. You're standing in front of them. What message do you give to the team if you had 1 minute to speak to them ahead of that 11 June opener against Mexico? They're playing in Mexico. If you can look into your camera, maybe so as our guest that was couriered here by our sponsors, if maybe you can look into that camera, you are going to speak to Bafana Bafana 1 minute, you give them a message. What would you say to them, Prapan?
It's. I would say to the boys, look, boys, you sacrifice a lot in terms of putting yourself in this position. You know, you love the game. Actually, you made it easier for us to choose you because of the love that you've got for the game, and you've shown your quality. And the only thing that I will ask personally is that go in there, showcase your talent. We are behind you. We are supporting you.
Yeah, super. Donna? Oh. Coach Donna, Coach Solfer.
What I'll say is, if I had a message to the team, is to remember to them why they're there. They qualified because they worked hard, and for the fact that you're there, seize the opportunity. There's a platform. You're representing more than your family, representing the country. But most important thing is enjoy this big spectacle. There's nothing bigger in football world than the World Cup. So for the fact that you're there, you're among the best players in the world. Just remember that all the time when you step onto that pitch.
Figo?
Yeah. Like I probably share the same sentiments as Donna, to say you are there because you deserve to be there. And 26, just imagine the population we have in the country, millions, over 60 million, that you guys have on your shoulders. But being there, understand that you deserve it, and go there and enjoy yourself. You know, we are fully behind you. Bafana Kaofela, we will be supporting from back home. And yeah, you're never going to be losing. Whether you lose, it's an experience. Just be there, enjoy the moment. But we know that will get us through to the hurdle and go through to the next round. So all the way, Bafana Kaofela,
How do you beat that?
Last but not least.
You can't. I think firstly, we need to be Korea to the World Cup.
To the World Cup.
Yeah, so if you are able that package, so it means we can land very nicely and safely. But no, man, I think the guys have summed it up very well. It's just a moment of rewarding yourself. I think most importantly, we spoke about population. Donna spoke about
you are
the
speaking
talent.
to the players there.
Yeah, okay. So players, there's a nice saying that says you work extraordinary hard so that you can feel the exhilaration of victory at the end. So you've done all the hard work. Now it's time to enjoy and reward yourself. So just go out there, enjoy, forget about everything, bigger stage. And yeah, man, let's go out there and do the most. All the best.
Gentlemen, I want to say thank you for another fantastic episode. I enjoy this so much. So thank you to you, Legend, for coming through. It's not the first time. It definitely won't be the last. And also thank you to Kuriate for making sure that So got here.
So he's
He's
not a legend.
He's not a legend. What is he?
He's one of the greats.
He's one of the greats. Thank you so much to Kuriate for making sure one of the greats get here safely, soundly. This is a proudly South African company, and make sure all of your parcels get delivered conveniently, fastly, and efficiently. Also, we want to say thank you to Engine for supporting us, for jumping on board, for continuing to develop our footballers and providing them with a platform. From me, Del Main Favor, I am your host, and I will see you on the next episode. Away.